But a lot of our dinners were kind of quick because of her working, like during the week. But I remember on the weekends, you know, that she would make a nice dinner. We had, I remember, you know, chili and meatloaf and, you know, that type of thing. I remember the Thanksgiving dinners, and she was really good at making cinnamon rolls. I remember that, you know, really liking her cinnamon rolls. She was just kind of a regular cook. We didn't, you know, we didn't eat out. People didn't. I think people did, but not like they do today. You know, if we went on a trip, we did. But even the restaurants then weren't like the restaurants there are, you know, today that people can go to. I remember Saturday morning she'd cook bacon. I can remember, you know, make a nice big breakfast. And I remember that waking me up, you know, the smell of bacon cooking. And, you know, like I said, things really changed when she went to work. You know, that you just don't have the time and the energy to, you know, to do the at-home things, you know, as much. They built a house. It was, the name of the street at the time was Hoodview Road, and now the name of the street's Kale Street. And yeah, we built a house. It was a 3-bedroom house. There was my brother and sister and myself. So my sister and I shared a room. My brother had his own room. Well, what I remember being excited about was so I was in, you know, 3rd grade at the time, so I wasn't that old. And I remember what was fun to us was it was fun seeing it go up. It was fun seeing it, you know, go up from foundation and, you know, how a house went together. But there were these great big piles of dirt that were around the house because of where they had excavated. And in the winter it was fun because there was ice and snow on it, and used them to slide down. And then when they leveled it all out, I remember being disappointed that we didn't have our big hills anymore to, you know, to sled down. Huh. And then it wasn't in grade school, but it was in high school that I used to have. We had a garage, but it wasn't attached to the house. And I used to have parties, and we'd have it in the garage. We'd clean the garage up and decorate it, and have the parties out there in the garage. And then when we weren't using, you know, for something like that, we used to roller skate in there because we were on a gravel road, so there wasn't anywhere to roller skate. So it was a double garage, so we'd roller skate it. The house is still there. It's undergone some changes because it was a block house with stucco on the outside, and it wasn't real good at. There was a lot of moisture in the house because of the block. I don't know if it wasn't treated right or what, but they put like wood siding on the outside and did some things different on the inside. So it looks different. It looks different now than you know, when we lived there. There's a main road that goes next to it now that wasn't there when we lived there. So it's all building up. It's very different. The first house that we moved into, now it's a gravel pit. It's not even there anymore. It's totally dug out and full of water now. So that's kind of funny to see it like that. We actually, when we moved, I remember in Detroit there were a lot of neighborhood kids. We lived right in the city. And then when we moved here to Oregon, there weren't that many kids in the neighborhood. There were like some kids across the street. And then when we moved across town, we were pretty isolated actually. There weren't too many kids around at all. But it was more like farmland. So there was a lot of space in between houses. But I'd go to kids' houses and they'd come to mine from school. You know, we'd have them over, or I'd go over there. Mostly like going to the beach. I went back to Michigan with my parents, you know, back to see relatives, we used to go to, it wasn't a vacation, but we used to go to the fair every year. My mom would take us when we were younger, and she used to do that. We used to do, like go to Silver Creek Falls for picnics, or I don't know what it's even like anymore, but Dallas Park used to have a big picnic area and a swimming area. I don't know what it's like now, but I remember that being fun, anything that had water, to do with it. And it was, I never did learn to swim, so it wasn't, so it had to have been part of it, shallow enough that I could enjoy it. So I remember those kind of things, and family, family dinners and that type of thing.